Okay, so good morning. We are in our usual settings and it is 9 o'clock. Thank you for joining me this morning. You are listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. So if you have a question this morning, you can call in or you can text your question to 718-502-9137. As a reminder, this program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osborne, at 718-502-9137. That's 718-502-9137. The office focuses on divorce, immigration, bankruptcy, real estate, and estate matters. We also do eviction proceedings. There is a second office in Jamaica, West Indies that focuses on legal representation. If you're looking to buy or sell property in Jamaica or you're looking to wrap up an estate. So last week was a fluke as I thought we were on different time zones. However, I am back. So it is 9 o'clock and we are here. Nicola is with us this morning, acting as the moderator in the event that I don't see the live. She will allow me if I've missed your questions in the live. Good morning, Suzette. Please let me know where you are listening from, state or city, if you are in New York, where you are tuning in from. And as a reminder, you can also ask your question in the live this morning. So this morning, I wanted to focus on that lovely document that is called Notice to Appear. Good morning, Amaraldo. This is the charging document that places somebody in deportation. This is a document that no one wants to get in the mail. Or oftentimes, what you will see is for the border crossers, they will immediately get this document. This is a document that tells you you have to appear in immigration court. Morning, Sandy. So nobody no really want get this document in their hands in the mail or by any means of delivery, right? But at the morning, Pauline, at the end of the day, morning, Michelle, this is a serious document. So if any of your friends or family member gets this document, it is telling them that they are in deportation proceedings. So this is not a document that should be treated lightly. It is a document that tells you you have court. So for anyone who has received this document, I don't want you to think that this is not a document that you should take with a heavy heart. Anyone who has received this document should immediately consult with an immigration attorney. I personally don't believe that removal proceedings, or what is commonly known as deportation proceedings, that you should handle this yourself. This is not a court to play with, and orders of deportation are to be treated very seriously, because if it is that you're not able to reopen this order, then you have been ordered removed and you have to leave. You're not going to get any benefit, right? So I wanted to focus on this document this morning in terms of if you receive it and who are the priority people that they are focusing on, right? So the notice to appear, which is often referred to in local parlance as the NTA, it is also the charging document. Yeah, because it lays out your charges as why you are supposed to be removed. Good morning, Maria, Peter, and Lester. Yeah, so in this document, you'll see the government's reason why they believe that you should be deported from the United States. Oftentimes, they will refer to your home country, that you're a citizen of this country, and it is either that, and always when I say this country, the country that you have citizenship for, which is not the United States. So they will tell you why it is, or their reason why they believe that you should be removed. It is for you if the document contains wrong information. You have what is called a master hearing, which is generally the first court appearance, and you may have several masters until an individual hearing is set. And in terms of individual, this is where you're going to present your case as to why is it that you should, or you believe you should, remain in the country. And it is also where the government presents their case as to why it is that you should be deported from the United States. So for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome to the live. Please share where you are listening from. If you have a question this morning, you can always ask it in the live. You can text your question to 718-502-9137. And you can also call in this morning to the live. I will answer your question. And it is the same number, which is 718-502-9137. All right. So what we have to understand as a immigrant community is that immigration does not have the resources to deport or what is called remove everyone from the United States. So they have established people who they believe are priority to remove from the United States. So sometimes people will come and they will complain how it is. And this is especially, and I find this with more women than men, where you have, I call it imported someone, where you have caused somebody to get legal status in the United States. And in your view, you have determined that they have used you. Oftentimes, people will send in reports and they are a bit concerned that how it is that they have not come for them, how it is that they have not picked them up as yet. And some people get very upset. And I'll tell you this, and I'm speaking from my experience. I can't speak to anybody's experience. I'm speaking with regards to clients who come into my office, because I personally do not help people to deport people. That is not my job. That is a job for ICE, right? That's immigration police. It is their duty to put someone or apprehend someone who really has no lawful status. So when clients come in and they ask for assistance to get someone removed from the country, I personally don't do that. The government has hired people, they have an agency that is involved in that. And on their website, I believe there is a link where if you want to report immigration fraud, you are able to do that. But me personally, you coming into my office to lay a complaint against someone and seeking them to be deported, I personally do not assist you with that. I think throughout my entire career doing this practice, I have only assisted one person. And this is because this drunk crow that she picked up, real rat bait, this guy was really horrible. And I said, no, I had to help her, right? So this, out of all the years I'm doing this, I've only done it once. Like I said, it is not my job. They have an entity, an agency, right? ICE, and a correct acronym, Immigration, Customs and Enforcement, that does this. All right. So just a reminder, not everybody, due to the limited resources that they have, the government is going to be able to deport everybody. They cannot. There are millions of people in the United States who are has unlawful presence, but unfortunately, it is, or fortunately for some people, they cannot deport everybody. So we're gonna see now who are the people that they consider priority to remove, because there are certain people, even though they can't reach everybody, there are certain people who they have determined is a priority for them, that they are going to focus on removing, because these are people that they have deemed that should be immediately removed from the United States, right? So under the Trump administration, there was a wider priority, people who were considered priority. Under the Biden administration, this has contracted, it has lessened as to who they believe should really get priority to be deported. So the new people who are priority basically they fall in three categories. You have the people who they believe in the national interest of the company, they should be removed. So, good morning for those of you who are just joining. If you have a question, you're welcome to call in at 718-502-9137. You can also text your question this morning to 718-502-9137 as a reminder to make an appointment. Telephone number is 718-502-9137. Good morning, Trevor. So they have deemed three categories that are really priority who should be removed from the country. So Amarilda is encouraging everybody to like and share. And thank you, Amarilda. Nicola is doing the same as well. Don't forget to like and share the live. Send it to someone who you believe would benefit from the live. All right. So we have here people who they believe, in order to protect the United States, that they are priority, that they should be removed from the country. Now, for the people who are the new border crossers, anyone who has watched the news, who is staying current with affairs, they are fully aware. I think because New York is such a safe haven, at one time it was reported New York was getting like 3,000 people a day. That is a lot of people. I think the New York City has developed a lot of social welfare programs that for the new entrants, they have the ability to take advantage of. Morning, June. So they are getting, I think, housing, they're getting food stamps, there are certain social services, they're also getting, I believe, health insurance as well. Now, what is problematic is people who are here for years have never benefited from the social services. So it's like the old people who are here and who are out of status are a bit angry with the new people who are coming and they are benefiting from this. But what you have to understand is, with regards to border security, these people who are just entering, they are actually priority to be removed. So anyone who has entered after November 1st, 2020, and this year, of course, is very symbolic because this is a year that we experienced COVID. And it is a year where it globally, it changed the world. And especially with the pandemic, things price-wise, escalated. And life, I think, throughout the entire world got globally unaffordable. Things are just ridiculous. Because, all right, let's say, for example, anybody here buying food? Back in the day, $100 used to fill your cart. Right now, $100 sometimes is giving you two bags. I mean, what we call in Jamaica scandal bag, you'll call it here plastic bag, even though in New York City, you're supposed to bring your own bag, right? Same stuff for Jamaica. You have to take your own bag to the supermarket. And you will find that the dollar does not have the purchasing power. Hi, Sebastian. Good morning. Yeah, the dollar no longer has its purchasing power. And it's just like amazing how expensive things are. But after November 2020, for the for the people who are crossing the border, they are a priority to be removed. So what you'll find is their court dates are coming like really rapid, right? And especially like in the southern states, Texas, states like that, they don't play, right? They are giving them court dates because they are a priority to be deported. One of the things that a lot of people will try and come to New York is that I personally believe our court system, this is a jurisdiction that is immigrant friendly. Not to say that people don't get deported from New York, but I find that New York is an immigrant friendly state. So Suzette says, two bags, nope, one bag, $100. It don't last a day, and it's sad. And I'll tell you this, and I'll show you the difference with, especially in Jamaica, where we're running on similar things. You could have gone and buy, and I'm speaking like a simple lunch. I now refer to you bougie people and you extravagant people. You gotta buy a simple, what we call box food, right? A simple cooked food. Like in, I think it was, let's say, not July, in I think April or March when I was there, it was like $600. Come July, it's like $900. Like you could have gotten in July a pound of pineapple for like $100. Now a $300 to $400 pound. It just the thing loud. It's expensive, right? This is the dollar does not have the buying power that it used to have. Morning, Elaine, listening from Long Island, Great Neck. Yeah, man. So it rough. Yeah, and it's like you have to budget discretionary monies that you would have to spend on certain luxury. Boys, a lot of people now they're holding on to their monies. But for the new border entrance, come after November 2020, you are priority for removing. And when we say border entrance, meaning you jump across the border, right? And one of the dangerous things when you come across the border, you have no proof of your entry. So for people who are, unless you are going to be filing like an asylum or you can get another way to cancel your removal proceedings, you are a priority for removal. And for those of you who are looking to marry and think that you are able to adjust and pick up here, no, it's not going to work. It is where you're going to have to try to get the deportation canceled and then get a provisional waiver and interview in your home country. And this is whether or not the government attorney is really inclined to terminate your removal case. They don't have to, right? All right. So another set of people who are priority are those people who, because of public safety, crimes. And I'll encourage any immigrant who is coming here, and I'm also including green card holders in this, because you have the cause to be removed as a green card holder. It's just the green card is really just like a proper license, a proper permission to live in the United States, work in the United States, and travel in and out of the country without overstaying. So you have the right to live. But at the end of the day, you can also be deported. And this is why, unless you have some legitimate reason, you're holding on to your citizenship of another country. And United States does participate in dual citizenship. So unless, like, really, let's say, I think for Haiti, I believe Haiti, you have to choose. And I think by your 18th birthday, you have to choose what you're being a citizen country you're being a citizen of. So if it is that, excuse me, fix me here. If it is that you're Haitian, I don't think Haiti participates in that. If I'm incorrect, somebody can correct me. Good morning, Renault. Today the citizenship cost to file for the citizenship is $725. And I think some people were saying way back in the day this was like $100 and something, right? Wait, let me just fix. I don't know what's going on here. All right. So, public safety and crimes. I'll encourage anybody. As an immigrant, this is not the way to go for you, especially when you have your family here. Be very careful of the friends that you keep. Anybody who is really encouraging you in this lifestyle, I personally don't believe is your friend, but everybody chooses their friends differently. Me personally believe anybody who is trying to engage you in this life, if you could send them back under their mother. Yeah, sorry for whoever thinks that's a little bit harsh. But when you are interfering with somebody's liberty, I don't think that's a game. Are you going to be providing for their family? Are you going to now be that father figure that their children has lost because you have encouraged somebody to engage in this lifestyle? I personally don't think this is the way to go. I'll encourage anybody to engage in a legal hustle. You know, some people are just natural hustlers, but try and ensure that it is a legal hustle. Yeah. All right. So what is priority for immigration to deport now is people who have been convicted of aggravated felonies. And the definition of an aggravated felony is not your general definition of a felony in New York. Even misdemeanors can be aggravated felonies. So for anyone who has been convicted now of an aggravated felony, right? You are priority to be removed. And what happens is, whether or not you're just being released from local jail, state jail, or state or federal prison, it does not matter. Once you've been convicted of this, you are like prime meat, ready for cook, ready to get sent home, right? So the reason for this is anybody who has been convicted of an aggravated felony, you pose a threat in the government's eyes for public safety, right? So there are limited resources to remove people. And just tuning in, welcome everyone who has just tuned into the live. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to share the live. Good morning, Alan. He's saying Happy Veterans Day. And yes, for all the veterans who served. And I'll tell you this, so your children who are sitting home, doing nothing, eating, sleeping, and in your house, I think encourage them to go to the military. They get to travel. You have to, I'm telling you something, for condemn pick me, una have up to the time. The children of this generation are, them like things easy, right? And You have to convince them, because really and truly, you don't raise them, you want them to go look live. A lot of them are in your homes and they will never leave. Good God, these children will never leave. Yeah? So your job now, you have to turn like, it's like you yourself have to turn into a chopper. You have to know for scam them, pick me up. You have to tell them it is a way for them to go and see the world. Yeah, man, you have to sell the military, because them just sit down in a your own house and them not do nothing. Yeah? But catch, dust, dirt, everything. Them inside of your house, them not even wash a plate. Like, you're grown now, yeah? But them not do nothing in there. So you have to know how to sell. Like, you have to turn yourself in a salesman, yeah? To encourage them, pick me up, to leave them house. Let me tell you, my client from Trinidad, she said, Antoinette, Mr. look for you pick me, handsome young man. Enough woman I go to the mosque, temple. How else I go? Mosque, temple, church. What do you call this thing? Anyway, everybody know where them religion take them. There are a lot of women, because I find it is the women who are praying more than the men to get a mate, a wife, a husband. You need to encourage these children to go and look live. One of the reasons you can sell the military to them, they get to travel. Yeah, they get exposed to different cultures. Enough to sell. Otherwise, these children are never leaving your homes. And I say to my client, you have a nice, handsome son. So many women looking wise. Is he never leaving your house? The boy tell her point blank, he is not leaving his father's house. Boy, I don't know. Me say me no know. You have to wait till 1 a.m. for sneak in for your man. After this, a boy I go in bed. Seriously. Kind don't tell her nah leave. Yeah? And it is what it is. So Angela is asking for a friend. And sometimes you have to ask your friend, because what you wing some is sure still in a this alive, yeah? Yeah. She said, good morning, Miss Osborne. I'm asking for a friend who filed for her daughter. All the necessary documents were sent in. Let me see. Now they keep asking for several, I guess this is items. Now they want the 1099. How can you get it? All right. So here's the thing. If it is they're asking for W-2s and 1099s, if you cannot go back to the source, your W-2s are coming from your employer. Your 1099 is anyone who has ever paid you monies, whether it is rental income, whether you acted as an independent contractor for them. They're going to issue a 1099 because them not really want to take that tax burden. So you get the money, your job to pay the tax out of it, right? So if you are not able, if you can't go back to the source that issued you that 1099, then what you can do is you can order your IRS transcript, because the transcript is a legitimate document from the Internal Revenue Service, which basically has every source that you had put on your tax return, and it basically sets out all your income, and it is verified that you actually filed the tax return. So immigration will take that document. So morning Novlet says she's watching from Elmont. All right, so Ronald says today parents, the children are spoiled to old age. Yeah, man. Men don't spoil more like they're rotten. Them a picnic, it's different times. Then on a manners. A lack of total respect for elders. Yeah, man. When I see the children behave like that, yeah, man, me like me get cross. Yeah. And I think you have to understand, one of the things I find cute with parents are when the children out, like they outside, and them a behave a way rasta, and you don't think it's your job to bring them in line. These are the same children when they get older, right? They're entitled. Why? Because you spoiled them. So they're very entitled that you must be in the house with them as grown adults, that you are actually paying all the bills, not an offer. And I don't understand where You have grown men and women in your house and they are contributing nothing. How is this possible? I remember after I finished college, I took it upon myself, right? And I said to my father that, okay, I'm buying food, I'm doing utilities, right? You cover the other expense. But what's the phone up it now? Yeah. Modern kids come to now and tell you when they start working what responsibility they are taking on in the house. Uno nah get it. Me nah ask Christ. You will never get that offer from these children. And so you have to look at yourself how it is that you are raising these children that then don't have a conscience. These are the same children who are going to move in because they don't know what it is to work with someone. So whether they get a roommate in this is just a friendly relationship, they don't understand responsibility that you have to share. And anybody, listen, young people, is when you're moving in with someone, you need to iron out how the bills are going to be shared before you actually move in. Yeah, you have utilities to pay. Unless it's like such a familial setting, me really not believe in a sharing food. Because some people really can't cook. Yeah. And me know me's a girl with high blood pressure. I can't take the salt. Yeah. Some people are diabetic, then can't take the sugar. So, I mean, people cooking, but especially from the islands, yeah? We come from a community where it's really one pot in a household. And that's fine. But certain people know, sir. Let me tell you something. You can't even take tea from them, you're dead. My sister, who taught you? Hey! Anyway, so I want you to bear in mind that immigration does not really have the resources to deport everybody, right? But this does not mean that they are not going to look to enforce their deportation laws if you come to their attention. So Suzette is asking, if a wife buys a house and the husband is not under mortgage or deed, what rights would her husband have to the house in a divorce? I'll tell you this, anything you buy during your marriage is marital property. And depending on the length of marriage and contributions, yeah, you have people who are not on the title to the property. However, in a divorce, they can walk away with half. You have, and this is where long marriages, it tends where you're coming out equally, but not every divorce gives an equal share. So just tuning in, thank you very much for joining the live. Unfortunately, last week it was I guess a misunderstanding with the time. So I had signed in at 8 o'clock every Sunday, because we're coming from the radio. Every Sunday we are here at 9. God's willing, live spearing. In the islands, we like basically just close off things with that. All right. Now, morning, Denise. Denise said she found us last night. I did try to let people know prior to coming off the radio that, we're going to start the YouTube channel so as to be able to still disseminate information. Yeah, so, all right. So make a talk now, right? Let's look at the time. All right. So we have 26 minutes in the live. I will still keep the radio time. Don't. All right, so let's talk like how some people end up in removal proceedings. And let's look at your applications. So if you're sending for a green card because you're trying to do your adjustment of status, and let's say a case gets denied, and I'll tell anybody this, you see in these marriage-based cases, if it is that your marriage is not going well, and you have a spouse who is going to sabotage you. I've had clients who have come to me after they have put in their applications, they've gone to their interview, and when the interview is finished, this is where they became aware that their spouse was definitely planning to sabotage them. Some people have come out of the interview and them spouse say, you bugger you, and now you're going to get deep. Because their spouse purposely went into that interview and provided the wrong answer or acted dumb, like they don't know the information. If it is, and I think whether immigration in your life or not, you're looking to marry, try and look a life partner. Someone, and even though nothing is sure in life other than debt, taxes, and bond, you non-Jamaicans, that mean you gotta get cheat on, yes? Nothing is sure than them. Let me tell you something. You see this place? Watch who you associate with. Be very mindful who you tell your business, because it's not everybody who is actually surrounding you or for you. And I think some people have a difficulty understanding that, especially from the islands, when we're not like, me never keep no friend in the island who me not like. Yeah, me don't like you, you know. I don't know how to be a part of that fake life. So me vex with you, you know. Here, let me tell you something. This place runs so different that you can have someone who totally despises you, yet still, every day they are in your life and you believe that they are your friend. And this is why sometimes you really need to get the spirit of discernment. And I know if I anoint yourself sometime with a little olive oil so I can. Anyway, let's move past that. So you put in for your adjustment and you get denied. Generally, you get this letter that says that you are out of status. Because if your adjustment gets denied and you had a prior status where you had legal status, for example, a student who is just going to school, they're still in status, they're maintaining their lawful presence, they got married, their spouse filed for them, but their marriage case got denied, then they would revert back to their student status. What goody? Make us say you put in your thing now and you don't know it, go, you come on the visa, you overstayed, and then you meet a nice little man. Because some people lucky like that. Yeah? You know what meeting no crosses. So you meet a nice little man. And you decide that, all right, you're not gonna look life together. Because anybody know me in life, I support marriage. I believe in marriage. This live together. And when we telling something, New York, I don't like Jamaica, you don't recognize common law. Yeah, so you cook up in a house, yeah, and you do everything, wash, cook, clean, and quint. And girl, you have nothing to show. Who I bring you? Who I guide you in a life? That makes sense? No, girl. We want to encourage some other people and if I understand. Marriage provides an economic partnership. It provides legal rights. You cock up in a house in man fee. Me no know how to do that. Who I do it with you, sir? No, sir. You cock up in a house with man, wash, cook, clean, and quint, and nothing for sure if the man dead. Yeah, and some of the worst, I went in a cock up with married man, and the wife come pitching out like drunk girl. No, girl. Look at anybody who listen to me and who has been listening to me for years. No, so me not endorse that. We want to get what you're entitled to in life. It don't make sense. Who are fat and foul for mangoes? So me, my sister, are you second wife? Shut your teeth. Yeah. All right. So for those of you who puts in an application, could be a U visa, it get denied. Once upon a time, VAWA, them would even put, if you get denied, put you in removal proceedings. Them their life not there again, girl. So watch on her put in these frivolous VAWA applications that make absolutely no sense because you can end up in removal proceedings, right? For people who are filing for asylum, I'll tell you this, if you entered, you weren't apprehended, and you entered without being inspected on parole and you go apply for asylum or anybody, even if you enter properly and you were admitted or paroled in and you apply for asylum and your asylum case gets denied, yeah, it's a one-way fast track to enter and be placed into removal proceedings. Another dangerous thing with asylum is if it is ever determined that your asylum application is frivolous, right? You can't get a green card. I don't care if you meet the best man in life. Yeah? Me not care if your child. Yeah, years ago, this man had filed for an asylum application and it was deemed frivolous, right? And now his child, years past, child is now 21 years old, a US citizen, child files for him, denied, had a frivolous determination. So just be very careful of these people who are encouraging, because one of the good things with asylum, the blessing with it is you get that work permit. Anyone getting a work permit now, you'll see that work permit is for 5 years. But the people who used to get work permit and a 1 year work permit, them days are 5 years, which is like a dream. Because this every minute looking to renew a work permit until there is a break in the chain between the time the work permit expires and the time the work permit renewed. I think a few months ago, when you applied to renew your work permit, because it was taking over a year, I think the longest I've ever waited for a work permit is 2 years. That was ridiculous. And I think they are trying to revamp now. So they, according to them aiming for what, 30 days? Yeah. When we're, so me see the return of Christ before that. Yeah. But I have seen work permits taken from 60 days to 2 years. And they had increased the extension recently to 540 days. Now it gone back to, by the time you're looking to renew your work permit, that receipt notice is coming, that your work permit is extended for a period of 180 days. What I can do for you when your work permit sometime I take 2 years to come. That makes sense? Me not know what I think about these things. Me not know which genius. Me don't know. Me don't work for the people them. Me not know which genius really are come up with them something. Yeah? All right, so make us share the information upon the notice to appear, that letter that comes, yeah? That says that, and this is the thing, you see, if you get the letter, your case is denied, and you just get the letter that says that you are, and this is whether you are an applicant, a beneficiary, a self-petitioner, but you get the letter say your case is denied, and you have no authorized stay, so you must depart the United States within 30 days, right? I'm not too stressed about that letter. What is important is if you get the notice to appear, that's how you know, say, your free paper bun. Yeah, because that tell you that you are absolutely in deportation proceedings, right? So how they also check to see whether or not you have left. Them check your travel compliance to see whether or not you did leave the country. And for some people, they'll get the notice to appear after that, right? And they're just validating your departure. Did this person leave? If they didn't leave, then guess what? We're putting them in removal proceedings. Yeah. So that's how it goes. Now, I will tell you this. If you have ever filed an application to immigration, what you have to understand is each time you go back, they go back to your old file. And this is where I've told people that sometimes you go into your interview, your file is thin. You know why? Because you really don't have an immigration history. When you see that your file is thick, it shows that you've possibly had multiple filings, or probably there was an investigation on you. Me that prefer multiple filings and an investigations rasta. But be careful of people who claim that they're helping you. Oftentimes we refer to them as these notarios who they claim they're helping you. and they're putting you more in danger than anything else. So they're putting these fraud applications for you. But the problem is it depends on who is filing for you, or who you have available to provide you with a waiver. So when you have the misrepresentation in the past, you've had people who they're able to obtain fake birth certificates claiming that these children who are on these fake birth certificates are filing for them. What I have to understand is, regardless of what immigration does their own checks, right? So they are going to check whether or not this child was legitimately born in the United States. It's not just a thing you just give them paper and them just jump on it like that and process cases. It absolutely does not work like that. So I want you to be very careful when you meet people and people giving you documents in blank to sign. Be very careful of that, because you do not know the representation that is made to immigration on these blank forms that contains your signature. And I'll tell you what an officer said to me. I mean, they can come up with whatever story they want, but that's their signature. And that is what the government is holding you to. Yeah? You have identified your signature. That is your signature. It's your application with a fraud. One of the most dangerous things with fraud, misrepresentation on your documents is if you need a waiver, and this is where people who have the only available relative for them is a child. If you have a misrepresentation waiver you need to do, and you don't have that U.S. citizen spouse, or parent, or green card holder spouse or parent, what's going to happen, unfortunately, is your waiver is going to get denied. You don't qualify for that waiver. And this is why you have to be so careful of the misrepresentations that you are making. Yeah, it's serious. Yeah. So, sister, I don't understand what you said. Your children are not legitimate. Me not understand that comment. But I'll tell you this. If you have a waiver to do for misrepresentation or fraud, or even a provisional waiver because you never enter right? These are the waivers because you have to go home, go interview because you can't pick up here. These are the waivers that require children are not your qualifying relatives. Your qualifying relatives are your spouses or your parents that are citizens or green card holders. So just tuning in. Thank you for joining the live. As usual, every Sunday we are here at 9 o'clock. We go for an hour and we are disseminating information to the community, right? So if you hear me speak of something, my prior results does not guarantee a similar outcome to you. And this live is for information purposes only. It's not legal advice. You can contact the office at 718-502-9137 for legal advice. So Pauline says, Miss Osborne, when a Jamaican came into the U.S. via the border and was not processed, how can they obtain status? So I'm not sure if you're saying that they came through the border and they weren't caught. They are going to need, if they get married, a provisional waiver. People who do not have proof that they were admitted, or inspected by an immigration officer or paroled, they cannot adjust their status by marrying a United States citizen. These are people who had a benefit, and you really have to be here donkey years, right? People who are 245 IDing, these are the people, because I can show that they were physically present in the United States on December 20th, 2000. And that's why I said donkey years, because that's coming up to nearly 23 years, right? And they had a prior filing before April 30th, 2001. So these are the people who can stay here and subject to certain restrictions, of course, they can look to adjust their status here. So for people who just jump across the board and now and think that they're gonna come here, marry a U.S. citizen, and they are going to be in a state of utopia. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It don't work like that. Yeah. All right. So notice to appear in immigration court. Massa, anybody who get that, this is not a game. Yeah. Fraud cases encourages an officer to put you in removal proceedings. Criminal cases where you can't get a waiver, yeah. And I want to encourage and remind people, right? Because everybody think that marijuana, the good herb, the good sensimida, right? The grabber, the ganja, right, is legal. It's not legal for immigration. So your criminal offenses, where in what New York has done is they have sealed and dismissed these cases. But my issue is with these dispositions, right? You still see the pled guilty. And for immigration, where you admit to the elements of a crime. This, I don't find these dispositions really help you. What they should be doing is issuing a completely new disposition where it removes this plea of guilt. And I have approached criminal attorneys with these new dispositions, and their thing is the file is destroyed. You can't even do a 440 motion to get a different disposition. And it's tough because I'll tell you this, especially in the 90s, you hung out on White Plains Road in Queens, you hung out in Jamaica, in Brooklyn, you're hanging out mainly in East New York. You find that, and also Harlem for Manhattan, you find that you will have people with these dispositions and it kills them. The hardest thing is to be here, and it's hard to feed your family. And it's a catch-22 because how a U.S. citizen will look at it is that you weren't even supposed to be here anyway. So, what's your difficulty if you can't get legal status? So, catch-22. But it's hard, right? Anybody who is a true hustler, where your main purpose in life, especially when you have family people, and I'm not talking about when you pick up a waste man, because somehow know, and you really can't blame the woman them when them pick up these waste men, yeah? Because when man a look at God, you know it go. When man a look at them is the nicest, and the men will say the same thing. When them first meet the woman, she used to do everything for them. Yeah. Once them settle in a relationship now and everybody reach them comfort level, I guess that's when the true them come out. Yeah. And I think this is a place where it runs a little bit differently. Especially when you come from the island, we find that we're probably changing for the younger generation. Yeah. But back in the day, you find a man for really take care of you, or really find a man for take care of you. I mean, I think, good girl, I don't think you'll find them man there again. Seriously. And part of it is the economics of it. Them really can't afford to take care of you like that. Yeah. You will find where they have the income to do so. Even them at hold on to them money goodie. But the money not stretch, so yeah. Ronald says most deported people living in Canada now, yeah? I think Canada is more welcoming, and Canada has a easier way to self-petition for yourself if you have skills and your educational background. It's a little bit easier in Canada. It's tough, right, yes, sir? Yeah. And I think in the Trump administration, most people were going to Canada because it was a little bit easier to get papers over there. I've never been to Canada, and I don't really have anybody over in Canada really. But hopefully, I think my best friend should be moving there shortly. So That's a possibility to visit, but I really don't have anybody in Canada. So there's no real reason to visit. And I don't really know my family members like that. On my father's side, I really know just a little on my mom. So it's just like a little restriction in saying, oh, I'm going to visit. Me don't know nobody over there. So there's no real reason for me to visit. And Canada has certain laws. Is bestiality like legal over there? Certain things, certain lifestyle, me not really where they've made it legal. No. So we're not really a rush for good. It looked like it different over there. I've never had the inclination to go, right? All right. So careful how you associate with people, and they encourage you to engage in certain criminal activity. This is not the lifestyle where you're looking papers in any country, not just here, that you should be getting involved with. Yeah. It may look, my sister, it may look sweet. Yeah. But what sweet nanny goat I got run in belly. Careful. Yeah. Careful. I've had clients come in, they have jail sentences. And when you look upon them, it's like you're kind of confused because the way, oh, you look so holy. Yeah, but them buck up in our man. And them I take the charge to the man. Oh, girl, where? So you gotta take the charge to the man. So you gotta give him more time with him other girl. That makes sense, goodie? No good girl, go find another man. Ah, my sister, walk the water. Yeah, go, Abby? Hey, oh, pick you up where? What? Young girls, you serve jail sentence, say, oh, good girl, as soon as you get locked down, I'm next girl that are stepping in the apartment that you decorate. Someone, me not understand. I bring on no. I bring on no. That makes sense? No, sir. Ronald said America is done. Yeah, man. Like crosses. Crosses. I take a left, right, and center. Yeah. Right now, I think of Germany, I carry the swing. Yeah. But I'll tell you also, Africa is booming. Certain countries in Africa is booming. So it is what it is. Yeah. What can I tell you? Careful of the applications that people are encouraging you to put in. If the application gets denied, of course, you're coming to immigration's attention that you have no legal status and you are a candidate to be placed in removal proceedings. So I'm just going to encourage you, watch how you have people making you put in applications. Be very careful how you have people. Some people are getting documents for US citizens where, and oftentimes because you had some US citizens who really don't travel. So I'm gonna sell you a document and you go and apply for that passport. The problem is when the real person, everybody want to travel now, COVID made us appreciate, well, some people, it made us appreciate life. It woke us up that we could see what was really around us, especially the people. If you're around a certain type of person during COVID and you had the time, why? Because you were forced to stay in that house with that person, right? Remember when we had the lockdowns? So now for some people, you could really see your spouse and you saw your spouse's true colors. I'll tell you this, I filed the most divorce cases between 2020 and 2021. People are just not putting up with it. You appreciated life. You probably saw the person you chose as a partner, and you made a determination that you are not staying. There was no reason to stay. right? So you filed a divorce. And for some people, I remember this one lady, and in any consultation, you would really question, why is it that you're getting a divorce? And she said, Antoinette, the man got have woman. And my father have a saying, I probably can't say it on YouTube, but shit where you sleep. The man go find the woman on the next road. That makes sense. What kind of humiliation and disrespect that? Now, so she couldn't take it. I've had clients where Antoinette me get up in the night, Rasta, at like 2 a.m. and in depth on the phone with him girl in the bed. I've had clients where the spouse is mailing. We call it blue movie, then call it X-rated movie of him and him girl to the house. No, I mean I tell you no. You see, some people sometimes we get up and you're facing the day and you wonder why some people are just nasty. You don't know the hell they're going through in their own homes. And it's easy for you to judge somebody. And I'm going to tell a lot of you, get off your high horse. Yeah. And sometimes you encounter people where they are struggling and they're keeping what they're going through privately, and they might go through hell. Not because you see them get up every morning, they come to the job with you, or some people know how to smile through pain. Yeah. And they might go through it. Them have to go work. They have to be there for their kids. They have to be there for other family members, and they must struggle. And these are the people who can sometimes get up and give you that smile. But yeah, some people them don't know how to deal with the crosses. And they're going through hell. So sometimes when somebody is nasty to you, just come in know you really want to bless them. But sometimes you have to know for all it like a G. Yeah. And sometimes we can exercise empathy and just find out, because especially when a person is not always like nasty to you, I think you can probably take some time, that human element with you, and find out, is everything okay? How you doing today? Because that person is not usually like that. And I'll tell you, in life, so it can be a struggle, and you may not have a good day. Now, this is not an excuse that you're going to go ahead and just be nasty to people. I don't want you to be that person. But sometimes we can take time out of our day and exercise some empathy to someone. All right, so we are at the hour. It is 10 o'clock. You've been listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. Join us here on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. We are here for an hour. You can put your question in the live. I will answer, or you can call in. And you can also text your question to 718-502-9137. So I just want you this Sunday, this is something I say every Sunday, I want you to take the time, spend some time with your family. During the week you get busy, you have work, you have other deadlines. Sunday is oftentimes, some people work on Sunday, yes, but I think for the majority, it is like the day of rest. Life is precious. I think as a people, sometimes we take things for granted. Don't take your family and your friends for granted. I know for me personally, if I'm gonna be your friend, I'm like a ride or die. I'm your friend. And if me not deal with you, Rasta, but go down your whole generation, me not deal with them neither. Yeah, it gets serious like that. But let's spend some time, quality time with our people. So thank you so much for joining us this Sunday. Have a blessed Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Take care.